There was a tragic car accident that left Debbie's son Dan in a coma with only a 50% chance of surviving. Now, the hospital even advised her to call the coroner. But this bleak story took a miraculous turn, and today we'll find out how one of TV's most popular sitcoms intervened to magically change the course of Dan's life. Please welcome Debbie Castile and her son Dan. How you doing, Dan? Good, nice to have you.
So I turned it on, and immediately when the TV went on, it was right at the beginning of the show with that funny, kinky, wow kind of music. Yeah. And I noticed Dan, for the first time, he had a very stuporous expression on his face for the 7 weeks. And his eyes flew open, and he looked at the TV set, and I was going, oh my goodness, maybe it's too loud, and I've startled him. So I turned it down a little, but he continued to stare at it. And he looked at me, and he whispered the first words I'd heard in 7 weeks, "Where am I?" And I thought, oh, here's Mom, here's our favorite TV show, but this isn't home. I wouldn't wish this on any parent. It's just the most gut-wrenching experience I've gone through in my life.
Debbie and Dan, though, believe they got a miracle in their lives. Dan was in a coma. It looked pretty grim. I mean, they told Debbie, the coroner, it's called the coroner. And then watching Seinfeld one night, he snapped out of it. Whatever connected, it worked. Why do you think you survived it, Dan?
Because I'm hard-headed.
That was the beginning of the pieces starting to fall together, and then it was the theme song from Seinfeld that really did it. And Dan, I want you to know here that we have a man who is cosmically attached to you, really. This is Jonathan Wolff. He's the composer of the Seinfeld theme. Why don't you guys say hello? He was very excited to hear that you were going to be here today, Dan. Oh, I'm so glad to meet you. I'll tell you, that was what did it.
Jonathan. I want to see Kramer.
We'll see what the names are.
That is awesome. I think this is so amazing. There are a lot of coincidences today, if you want to call them that. I mean, including the fact that you are here because you shared with us that you had actually bought the Small Miracles book before you knew you were coming on the show.
Cool.
Coincidence? Now, how do you feel about this story, Jonathan?
It's such a neat story, and all of us on Seinfeld were really excited when we heard about it.
Well, I want to see Kramer.
Kramer's taping today. He wanted to come. He's taping today. They would have all been here for you.
Tell him why he's your favorite.
Because he's as brain dead as I used to be.
I'm sure that'll get him out. Come to you.
What'd you bring for Dan?
We figured anyone who's as big a fan as you are, who would actually come out of your coma just not to miss a show, should have a Seinfeld cap for that hard head of yours.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
And the music that I do seems to have a good influence on you, so here's a little CD of something.
Thank you, Jonathan.